Welcome back to the channel. Please do hit the subscribe and like, and then also comment if you enjoyed the topic that we're going to talk about today. So I'm scrolling through Twitter as I usually do, and then I see a video. Was it a picture of Bishop Oyedepo's new auditorium, the Ark? And then the discourse around it was people saying, "Oh, I wish it was hospitals. Oh, I wish it was this. I wish it was this. I wish it was that." And to be perfectly honest, I think if I was on Twitter maybe a year ago, I'd have probably been in that camp as well, thinking that, oh, why is there so much waste? Why aren't we not doing something more tangible with that money? But then I've come to the understanding that it's a church, it's a private institution. The money that they are receiving, that whatever pastor is receiving in their church, was provided to him by his congregants. So whatever he's doing is between him and his congregants. So if he feels like he has gotten a vision that he needs to build this thing, then who are we to say that, oh, this the money could have been better used where? You that makes your money, you go to work, you come back. Is it right for me to tell you what you should spend your money on? I don't think it is. It's kind of silly. It's kind of hubris for me to assume that I can make a decision on what you are spending. But at the same time, too, do I think that that auditorium is necessary? No. I was laughing and saying to somebody a few days ago that that auditorium is not built like somebody that is expecting the end of the world to come soon. I know we're always saying, oh, we're in the end times now, we're in the end times now, we're in the end times. But if you really believe that you're in the end times, why are you building a auditorium for 100,000 people that will eventually just get raptured and then leave the place? Like, what are we doing here? So that's one side of the thinking. I also get the people who say, oh, they wish that this was used to do something like hospitals or stuff like that. I think that anger is misplaced. I think that our government needs to do better in providing these things for the people. I don't think it is church's job to do that. But at the same time, too, I do believe that if you claim to be a Christian, if you claim to be sent by God, then you should lead the way. You should show the example. You should be the standard. And I don't know if that building tells me standard. But then again, I'm not a member of the church, so who am I to judge whatever he has received? And again, I cannot say whether he has not built hospitals where he is. He has not funded all those kind of things. He has not helped his congregants. And people will say, oh, but his congregants are poor and then he's building this. Again, you are a member of the church. If you are poor and in your poverty, you believe the messaging around sowing, giving, and then you are doing that, nobody's holding a gun to your head. Nobody Going to a church is not an obligation. Any church you go to is by free will. So by that definition, anybody that is in that church wants to be there. So standing and fighting for them seems like a personal rather than an actual thing for them. And then finally, I think that although I am saying all this, I think that it is important, more important, to hold our religious leaders accountable for holding our political leaders accountable. I don't know if that makes sense. Because in such a religious nation that we are in, these corrupt politicians that we are looking at every day also look up to pastors and preachers and imams and all those stuff. So it is up to those people to be holding their political people, hold them by the shoulder and be like, this thing you are doing is not right. This thing you are doing is not God sent. Again, I do not see the link between the church and men of God and political people enough. The truth about it is that throughout the Bible, if you read your Bible, there was always a prophet that checkmated the king. In the time of King Saul, there was Samuel. In the time of King David, there was Nathan. Multiple kings had prophets that were able to talk to them and say, "Sir, what you are doing here is not correct. Fix up and obey God." But the pastors we have today seem to not want to take that responsibility of holding those political people accountable, but they want to enjoy the state of the country that is leading to the fact that a lot of people are in the church. It feels like church, I want to pick my words carefully. Church seems to thrive in a nature of unrest and dissatisfaction. A lot of the Scandinavian countries, a lot of those people have given up their faith in large parts because their government is working. America, for how religious they claim to be, a lot of Americans now are claiming to be non-religious. And you can say, oh yes, that's what makes America so bad, but that's besides the point. Because things are working. I feel like it's almost cynical for me to say, but I feel like the religious leaders in our country like the fact that our country is like this. And for that, you as a congregant, you as a member, need to hold that pastor accountable. The truth about it is, we are all human. Nobody is closer to God than each and every one of us. The Bible has been democratized. The Bible is in your hand. You can go and read your Bible. The same data that you're using to watch YouTube and watch all these things, you can use it to do your Bible study and actually find the God that you're seeking for yourself. You do not need to wait for Sunday for your pastor to tell you XYZ, 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 XYZ. And sometimes your pastor is wrong if you actually read your Bible yourself. I think ultimately that is something that is wrong with Nigeria. We just feel like, oh, my pastor is close to God. And also one weird thing that we do is that we seem to align wealth with virtue. If your pastor has a lot of money, it's a sign that God is favoring him and is a sign that he should be listened to. But I don't think that is a right way to look at it. Jesus, in his time on earth, did not own a house. He was basically a squatter. He was moving from place to place, house to house, dining with people, moving on to the next one. In the triumphant entry, they had to go and borrow a donkey to do it. Jesus didn't own a horse. So the truth about it is, your virtue does not lie in your wealth. But we seem to have missed that along the line as well. I don't know. It's a world where we need to be very critical about the world that we're looking at, and we need to be critical about the people who have the power to dictate what the world looks like for us. And yeah, I think that's what I have to say for this video. I hope I've made some semblance of sense. And again, please leave a comment if you object to anything I've said, or if you have a contribution that you feel moves the needle forward. Thank you, and see you on the next video. Goodbye.